think folks are still jumping in here, but I'll go ahead and just get us started. So, and folks can jump in as we go through this. But first of all, I want to welcome everybody to our first A2NewTech of 2022. So thank you for kicking the year off with us tonight. Really appreciate it. For those of you who are new, welcome to our monthly meetup. I'll be your host. My name is Hein, like the ketchup without the Z. Outside of hosting A2NewTech, I co-own a design and webflow studio called Huck Finch. So how tonight's going to work is we have three amazing presenters sharing their startups with you all tonight. They'll have 5 minutes to present. After that, there'll be a 5-minute Q&A, during which you can ask questions. Please do so by typing it into the chat. Throughout this, we'll keep everybody muted so there's no distractions, so the presenters can present. After the presentations are complete, we'll move into the community announcement section. So if you have something to announce, like you're hiring or you have a meetup that you run and you'd like people to check out, think about your announcement right now and feel free to type those into the chat when we get to the community announcements portion. Before we go any further, what we like to do is start with a poll. A really big value of A2NewTech is, first of all, does everybody be interested in the entrepreneurial and startup ecosystem, not only in Ann Arbor, but in the state of Michigan, but it's also a wide variety of people who attend this. So we want to do this quick poll to kind of see who's out there in the audience. So I'm just going to launch it right now. Feel free to type in your answers here. Right. So I think, first of all, I think that may have been the fastest we've done the poll. So I'm going to share the results right now. So 11 of you all are entrepreneurs, so that's really cool. Got one person here looking to start a venture, so hopefully what you hear tonight sparks some inspiration. Got a investor, a couple marketers, a couple designers, a couple software developers, and 9 others. So for those who put other, feel free to type into the chat like what you would have put if you had the option. So again, why I would like doing this is, one, it's great kind of seeing who's out there in the audience, but 2, just being able to kind of showcase, the types of people who like to attend this. It's a wonderful part of the community where you can meet a diverse group of people with varying backgrounds, varying experiences. And so feel free to hang out after the presentation and the announcements. We're going to do some breakout sessions, so you guys can hang out and talk to each other. Another great place to interact with the community is through our Slack. I'm going to type the link into the chat here. It's made in a2.com/Slack. Again, it's a really great place to get announcements. People announce their products launch up there, or any questions that people may have. So it's really great. All right, so I already talked about the format, talked about these things. Before we get to the people here you're actually here to see and listen to, I want to quickly thank our sponsors, because without them, we wouldn't be able to keep this going. So starting with A2 Geeks, Roger Rails, the co-organizers, the Entrepreneurship Clinic at U of M's Law School, and Ann Arbor Spark. Even though we're not there today, I do want to also thank Heidi and her team over at Prentice Forum for hosting us when we are doing this in person or hybrid, depending on where things go with COVID. Hopefully it's peaking and it's gonna crest and we'll see cases dropping. We'll look at potentially doing this hybrid again next month, but be on the lookout for any announcements about that. So with that, I'm going to quickly just mention our lineup, and then I'll hand things over to our first presenter. First, we have Blankly with Brandon and Evan, right? Presenting. Then we have BoardX with Yanbin, and lastly, DevTech Studios with Cliff Veach. With that, I'm going to hand things over to Brandon of Blankly. Blankly is streamlining the process of building trading algorithms and fintech pipelines from months into minutes. So Brandon, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, sounds good. It's very nice to meet you all. Sharing my screen now. If everyone can just give me a quick thumbs up or a thumbs up in the Zoom, just make sure that you can see it. Great, awesome. Well, first off, I want to say thank you, Hein, for giving us the opportunity here to just pitch again, something that we're so excited about, something that we're excited to build, and something that we've been working on for quite a while. I'm here with Emerson, not Evan, but he's going to be chiming around in the breakout room after to showcase our product because we have 5 minutes. But the quick spiel about Blankly, we're here to bring quantitative finance, or specifically trading algorithms, to Web 2 and Web 3, specifically enabling people to rapidly build and deploy trading algorithms at scale without infrastructure and data headaches. Now, what does that really mean? People, hedge funds alike, and individuals are trying to build automated trading algorithms. The past of trying to buy and hold an asset is kind of outdated. And for most individuals who have their day job as a software engineer, they don't have the time to look at the stock market all the time. And especially with crypto being out 24/7, there's a lot of difficulty in making sure that your money is actually being used the best way. And so people are looking to automated trading algorithms to actually enable them to build better algorithms. And of course, hedge funds have been doing this for quite a while. The issue, of course, is trading infrastructure. The ability to actually build out these trading algorithms and execute trades is fragmented. It requires weaving around multiple different packages, technologies, and infrastructure just to make a trade. It's costly in both time and money. In fact, on average, hedge funds spend around $10 million just on infrastructure. 7 to 8 months of infrastructure development, and the entire new system of crypto and DeFi, decentralized finance, it is completely manual. Time spent away from building better algorithms for their investors, time spent away from building better algorithms to make better returns. And so that's where Blankly comes in. Blankly enables developers and investors to rapidly build and deploy Web 2 and Web 3 trading strategies at scale without the infrastructure and data headache. Another way to put this is like a Photoshop. Think about it, if every single time you had to make a logo, you would have to create a Photoshop just to make that logo. That doesn't really seem feasible, especially if you're going to be making multiple different logos. And Hein, you're probably familiar with that. You want to have a Photoshop that enables you to build multiple different logos. This is very similar to hedge funds. Hedge funds want to have a unified infrastructure in place so that they can build as many algorithms as much as possible. But right now, algorithms that they have to make are done one by one, infrastructure by infrastructure, which takes time and money away from building better algorithms. And so we unify that infrastructure and make it easy. How do we do that? Well, that's through our products. Our products reduce development time by 10 times, they reduce costs, and they ultimately increase alpha. We do that from our open source Blankly package, actually free and out there right now. We have a ton of users that are using it, a developer community that is active in putting in pull requests and contributions, and they use that to actually make better algorithms. From there, we also have our premium product, the platform, that streamlines the entire quantitative workflow so that you can go from a trading idea that you have to actually a deployed algorithm in minutes instead of months. And finally, actually build out a trading API that enables any trading platform to trade across decentralized exchanges and centralized exchanges on stocks, crypto, Forex, and much more. And so we're super excited. You can see here, these are some of the snapshots for our actual products. If you want to check out our product, definitely come into our breakout room afterwards. And where we're going with this is we're going to target the enterprise market, the larger hedge fund market, the 96% of hedge funds that don't have the ability to build all of this in-house. In fact, we're actually working through a pilot program with a couple of hedge funds to build out this infrastructure. You can see here by quarter 2 of 2022, we'll have an entire enterprise cloud SaaS and on-premise solution for these different hedge funds. We're also looking to go into the data space. For algorithms, there are 3 primary components to build a great hedge fund. You first want to have a great algorithm. Second, you want to have a great data. And then finally, you want to have a great market. And so we enable people to build really, really great algorithms really quickly. And the next step is to help them build great data pipelines and fintech as fast as possible, completely no code and completely streamlined. And then finally, we want to build out the programmatic layer of DeFi, where everything right now is done manually. You have to go to this website, you have to go to that website. Remember when I said you had to weave in multiple different programs and packages? That's exactly what hedge funds are doing. And we want to unify that so it is just an office suite of materials that allow people to build trading algorithms at scale without the headache that comes with building trading algorithms right now. And so how are we going to do that? We actually have a current team of 8 individuals. We're all students here at University of Michigan. Some of us are spread out across various universities. Emerson's at Virginia Tech. Emerson and I are currently part-time working on this. And so we're super excited. We have a team of 8 individuals that are super stellar. The platform that you'll see hopefully in our breakout room, we actually built out in 2 weeks and we're already starting private beta. We've actually increased the number of users. We've been launching. We had a great customer call earlier today. We just had a customer call with a couple of hedge funds as well. And so we're super excited and we look forward to continue to build what we're doing. And so some of the stuff that I have for the audience in terms of what we could need help for in our ask, I guess. If you guys have access to various hedge funds or think of any individuals that could use this, we'd love to get in contact with them. Just setting up a simple 30-minute call is actually extremely valuable for us because we can just understand exactly what they're currently doing and how we can improve. From there, we're also looking at better ways to go to market. So how do we actually cultivate more of a community? Currently, we have a Discord community of about 100 members. We have GitHub stars that have reached over 6,000 per month. And so we're super excited. And just any tips and suggestions for places to post and share. And so that's sort of the quick rundown of Blinkly. I hope I was under time, but that's all I have.
Thanks, Brandon. So we already have a few questions in the chat. Emerson, first of all, I apologize for getting your name wrong, but Emerson's had a chance to answer some of them. I don't know if you yourself want to kind of read them over and share them with the, and just kind of mention anything else. Looks like Lance has asked a couple questions and you have some more coming in.
Yeah, great. So which exchanges does this work for? Emerson already mentioned that. So Alpaca, Coinbase Pro, Binance. So we actually support almost all the centralized exchanges out there. We're currently working on things like options trading, and we're looking into the decentralized exchange market as well. Yeah, futures are definitely coming soon. Any plans for CME? We're still looking at various ones. Lance, I think you can talk to Emerson more. What speed of trading data latency are you optimizing for? What speed of trading? Great question, Paul. I'm really focused on the high frequency trading market. Like you said, that kind of goes into what many of these various market makers are already doing. And so for us, latency is not a critical issue, but we actually optimized our algorithms or a package to allow for trading to be as quick as possible. Of course, if you're worried about latency, that is primarily for other algorithms, other packages, or specifically other programming languages that are geared towards being on-premise right near the networks themselves. And so we're not really focused on that market. Typically, our customers are trading above a minute tickers. Are you raising capital? So we're in the process of currently raising. So we're talking with a couple of investors, both angels and VCs. So we're looking to raise some sort of round. I can't really say any specific details. And we're going through a couple of pilot programs right now to sort of, again, hone out our enterprise market and really expand what we're building. And Emerson just mentioned entire trading layer only has around 300 microseconds maximum. Yeah.
Any other questions for Brandon? Looks like you got one from Michael. Where can people contact you if they want to reach out?
Oh, yeah. Feel free. I'm going to drop the website in here. HTTPS. So we're going to blankly.finance. In there, you can contact us. I think Emerson, if you can plug in the Calendly link to set up a call with us, feel free to do that. Yeah, so there are various ways you can get in contact with us. Any risk management built in? Yes, we do. So we actually integrate with a couple of libraries that enable you to do risk management. We also handle risk management on our end. So things like stop losses, take profit orders. You get a whole sort of portfolio analysis of your strategies via our platform. And so everything that you would think that a hedge fund would want, especially if they're trading millions of dollars for their investors, that we actually support completely. Because again, we're trying to service to these enterprise markets while providing a self-serve for direct developers as well. Background expertise that the team has. So all of us come from a very web-based background. I also have built my own trading algorithms. So I come from an AI background. I published 2 papers in AI. Emerson has built out a lot of research with drones. So we are very well developed, I guess, in the programming industry and programming side. So I built my own trading algorithm that I actually have developed and actually have used in production. And using our past experiences, we were able to determine that this was a big problem. We then went to a club on campus, did the exact same problem, had the exact same issue. And then finally, we went to hedge funds and started searching and realized that this execution layer that many hedge funds have to go through, in fact, every single hedge fund has to go through, was also a big problem.
We got about a couple more minutes here, like for any other questions for Brandon and Emerson. Okay. Well, in that case, Brandon and Emerson, I want to thank you guys for sharing blankly with us tonight. It was really cool. Very interesting that what you guys are doing and you guys are solving this problem. And I really, as you said, the analogy from just having to build a Photoshop every single time you want to make a logo, I can only imagine how brutal that would be. So it definitely helped me understand like the pain that people are going through as they deal with this issue. So thank you again. So next we have Yanbin Shen, who's going to share BoardX with us. BoardX enables and empowers your organization to practice design thinking physically, remotely, or both. So with that, I'm going to hand things over to Yanbin.
Thanks, Ian. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Cool, good. Yeah, thank you, Ian and A2NewTech for having us to share the story of BoardX. I'm Yanbin Shen, the founder of BoardX. BoardX is a visual collaboration tool that connects collaboration moments. If you're interested in using BoardX, I created an invitation for this session. On the top left, there's a QR code. You could scan it or type the URL boardx.us/A2NewTech. In fact, this is our first pitch to the public. We prepare a short slides, but I found there's still more than 10 minutes. So I will cover some of them. I know we have the Q&A session, so maybe we'll cover a little bit more. I bet some of you may have been using digital whiteboard solution like Mural. Recently, Mural, they just got their $400 million funding and pushed their valuation to $17.5 billion. Why Mural's valuation can be so high? I think the digital whiteboard is really more than a digital whiteboard. It is the new form and new medium that will be hosting the future of work or collaboration. So do we really need another solution, and why? I think the answer is yes. I used to be the heavy user of Murally because I think there's a huge gap. So that's the reason why we created BoardX. We think we will create a better solution to empower the future work with our background and insights. So the problems with the current solutions, I think most of the solutions are focusing on synchronous structured meetings, but collaboration is continuous. It is not fragmented. Future collaboration is hybrid, but the support is very limited from the current solutions. The I work and the we work are separated, not integrated. In order to solve those problems, BoardX will be doing innovations in certain areas, creating new meaningful interactions, design experiences in between meetings or sessions, bring I work to collaborations. Right now, hybrid collaboration is here because of COVID-19. The whole world has proved that hybrid collaboration is a better pattern to balance the work and life. People don't want to go back. The COVID may end soon, but the hybrid collaboration will not go away. Metaverse is coming. Facebook has changed their name to Meta, right? AR, VR will change the experience of collaboration. AR, robots, 5G, IoT, and blockchain are going to revolutionize work and education. While us, Steelcase and other office company in Grand Rapids were leading the revolution of work in the past 100 years. If there's one company who will lead the revolution of future work, I think that company will be from Michigan, from Grand Rapids, Michigan. The insights of space, human behavior, and culture will be more important than the technology. I joined Staircase in mid of 2005 as a software engineer until March 2021. I founded BoardX. Through the journey, I played many different roles. In my last 10 years in Staircase, my role is innovation leader. My major focus is innovation and digital transformation for global operation and smart connected workspace. Yushi in our team is leading the product innovation. So he used to work for Staircase as workspace future researcher. I think we're in a very unique position to build the future hybrid experience. For our product, sticky notes and whiteboard are the core features. And in order to bring iWork, WeWork, Sync and eSync collaboration together, storytelling is very critical for the process. After a very productive workshop, I was always facing the challenge how to generate a great story to make the impact. I was always facing those challenges and preparing the next session. People are using those tools like slides, PowerPoints, keynotes to do that, but the barrier is quite high. We will add the features to augment this process and lower the barrier for people to tell a great story and make that impact. And if they could tell a great story, we also want to offer the features for them to collect the feedback from the audience to iterate ideas. We believe the feature, those parts will be important to maintain the feedback loop for the innovation process. So I will stop here. So any questions?
Yeah, first of all, Yanbin, thank you for taking the time to share BoardX with us and for sharing that link. I myself signed up and looks like others have as well, so that's really cool. I guess my question for you, as people are typing in their question, what would be your one ask for us?
X means we call it this empower or transform the future work.
Oh yeah, what would you like from us now that you presented?
Sorry, say it again.
Oh, what would you like from? What is your request for us? Like, now that you've given us your time to present today.
Yeah, if you're interested, welcome to use us. We're still at the start point. If you're developers, if you're interested in this direction, yeah, talk to us. We're still hiring developers to join us.
Great. It looks like you have a couple questions here from Paul and Robert. If you want to read them and answer them.
So yeah, I'm looking at some questions here. What's your revenue model? So yeah, we're at this phase, we're still exploring our business model. Of course, the SaaS model can be the direct model, right? So yeah, it's like monthly subscription. That will be our typical business model. And we're also exploring to do like open source model. So we'll do on-premise deployment to some customers. Do you have any paying customers? Not now. So we have some customers. We're doing some POCs together. We're working with Rocket Chat. So they're open source platform. So they have 10 million to 20 million users. Yeah. So we're still proving yeah, some use cases with our beta customers.
Other questions for Yanbin?
What is the main advantage over Miro? Yeah, so we're thinking like I shared. So like I used to use Miro. It's not Miro, but I used the Whiteboard to do organized workshops. The challenge I was facing is after we finish the workshop, right? So we have to organize all sorts of information to share back with my audience, my colleagues, or my users. So we will play heavily in this area is how we can generate the actions or stories from those workshop sessions to make that impact to our users, share back the story and collect feedback from our potential audience. Any other questions?
I think you have one more question from Paul.
Dear customer, yeah, yeah. First of all, of course, it's the visual collaborators, right? Yeah, the companies who are using collaboration or using design thinking. So Miro, they have 30 million customers for now, but I believe there will be a lot more users. They're new to visual collaboration. But those users are new to visual collaboration, so maybe we'll develop some of those users. Ideal use can be the people who are using visual collaboration, using design thinking, but there are lots of other users, they're new to those collaboration mode. So yeah, we'll develop those users too, explore that part of users too.
Any other questions for Yanbin and BoardX? And you built the presentation in BoardX, correct?
Oh yeah, yeah. This is a presentation we built based on BoardX. So yeah, we can download this presentation from the board. Yeah. So this is yeah. What we're using this for this presentation.
Very cool. Okay. Well, in that case, there are no more questions for Yanbin at the moment. I want to thank you again for presenting tonight. It was really great, and thank you also for inviting us all to try out BoardX. So I created an account myself. I hope others do and check it out. And then if you don't mind reminding the group, like what is your ask again? So you're looking for developers and potential customers?
Okay. Thanks, Ian.
Okay. All right. If you don't mind unsharing your screen, and then we can hand it off to our. Oh, you already did that. We'll hand things over now to Cliff of DevTech Studios. DevTech Studios ensures deaf children are able to keep equal space with their hearing peers. So with that, Cliff, I'm going to spotlight you, and feel free to share your screen. You're also muted at the moment. Oh, you're good now.
There we go. Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate the opportunity to show this. Normally, I let the young technical wizardry do this, but schedules didn't allow this today. The reality of what DevTech Studios has been doing for the last 1.5 to 2 years is really a discovery and research project. What we've come across is not just a problem in educating deaf children in the preschool arenas, but the actual root cause of why it's failing. And we're ending up with delayed learning, higher special ed costs, et cetera. We're going to define the difference between hearing and communication in this is a small part of what's there, but it will give you an idea. Okay. The problem we have is that we have 5,000 new deaf children every year coming in the US. Those are 90% born to hearing parents. Unfortunately, and along with the anxiety and sadness that comes with that, the hearing parents have absolutely no idea how to train a deaf child to communicate. And it's realistically, we need English skills to succeed in our schools. If you're looking at this PowerPoint, you have English skills. But to a child, to an infant between the learning optimization ages of 6 months to 5 years, they're totally dependent on their parents for what input they get. The parents are actively told that you're going to have to teach that child sign language, which they have no background in. And we're not even on the same page with that one. The reality is this, and this comes right from the research experts on the ASL world in the online, excuse me, ASL is a spoken language. It has no read-write capabilities or equivalencies. If you go into school and hear Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, and you were to interpret that into sign language, it says, sat Humpty on a wall and fell. Now, how am I going to write that nursery rhyme in English? I can't. And unfortunately, because of the high desire for the parents to communicate with the child, the focus on ASL has overridden our need for English also. The research has shown for decades and decades that bilingual training in the language acquisition years from 6 months to 5 years will increase comprehension across multiple languages. So what we're going to do here is we've designed ways to synchronize 2 languages, English and ASL, in multi-visual, very unique display interactions that will improve deaf child literacy. This is one screen of one MVP alpha prototype. And what this does is in response to the word cat, it displays not only a picture of a cat, but a picture of the word cat, a video, there is a person actually signing cat, so they are seeing that the relationship between the fuzzy creature and the motion on the right, and the other pictures are going in simultaneously, and they can be either done by speech, or we can show the pictures of all the animals, the house, the toilet, everything else, and have them pick that, and it will display accordingly. This is so you have 24/7 access, not just for the child. The parent who has no ASL background now has a curriculum. They have a direction, they have a path. It reduces the child's isolation and also gives them a 24/7 toy when they get to be toddler ages where they can teach themselves as well. It picks up and empowers the entire family to operate like one unit. It increases the skills in English and ASL proficiency before the child reaches the kindergarten age. The current limited functionality resources to interpret, to learn, to do ASL, to perform and communicate are limited to live interpreters. They are limited to relatively expensive classroom computer sets with special gloves, special clothing, special lighting, etc., or what I call techie toys. You know, I talk to my phone and it gives me a sign back. And after that, for about 10 minutes, I can get a sentence out of it. The reality is the most effective deaf communications is between an adult deaf person of 30 to 45 years, where they go FaceTime and sign to each other because they have adult enough to have good English skills, and they also know the sign language very well. Our devices that we are putting together for this, and it is a series of software apps, the family of groups, and it comes into a variety of devices, is a recurring revenue model of $125 a month, which is far below the $150 an hour for a live interpreter. The marketplace is approximately, for deaf people in the United States, is approximately $20 billion. And that's 12.5 million deaf, hard of hearing, 40% are seniors, but the 2.175 million deaf children. And that equates to about $3.26 billion a year. That data does not include hardware. It doesn't include recurring revenues year after year because you don't get better after you're deaf. AD accommodation markets, languages, crossovers, open source, healthcare facility, and DEI. The market is on both sides. It's not the deaf child, it's not the deaf parent, It's the society that now can do what? We can talk to the deaf person. That's something that we are the 80%. It is our responsibility to talk to them. They talk among themselves very well, better than most of us do.
Hey, Cliff, that's your 5 minutes.
Okay, well,
so
these are just pictures.
Okay.
Those are just pictures, and I'll leave that one up there and that while you're questioning.
Okay.
Because it's kind of self-explanatory.
Well, first of all, thank you for sharing this with us. It's really cool, and I really love the part what you said. That it's our responsibility to speak with them, and so that's really great. As people are typing in their questions for you, what would be your ask for us?
Well, this started out as being an initial tech toy type communication device when I wandered into it. And now it's turned into a global interest traction phenomena. That the details and the needs were greater than what we were prepared to start out with. So our ask is we are either going to bootstrap this forward as tech tools for deaf children, but we want to work with people who can bring not just capital, but resources into a marketing environment and building an infrastructure that cross languages, cross cultures, cross borders, and become a global phenomenon. My goal would be to provide this device at no cost to the 5,000 deaf children who are born every year at no cost to them. And so I'm looking for partners that want to take from this point forward and take our concepts and ideas out into the open source, out into the DEI world, out into the hospital healthcare world, and to fulfill the needs on for the 4.6 million devices that will be needed just in the service industries to accommodate the deaf from this point forward. We need to build an entire enterprise around these ideas.
Awesome. Looks like you have some questions waiting for you in the chat.
Let's see here.
So the first one is, are you seeking grants or investments? That comes from Paul.
Open on all ends, and then obviously in that when we get to the point where we're trying to provide no cost accommodations to the children and the parents, we're going to go after the NPOs and the foundation for that. The investments will be necessary to drive them up. This is a wide versus deep market. I can go in straight ahead and do what I'm doing, but the wider market is the hospital market to the right, the educational market to the left, the DEI and general business market, and the Skylink at the far end of that. Those are markets I'm not prepared at my young age to start over again in. I've been doing this for years. I spent 25 years as an advisor to the Society of Manufacturing Engineers and the Computer Automated Systems groups. I don't want to run a global enterprise, but if somebody wants to take this and run with it, the IP is certainly available to them under the right financial circumstances that helps us get the devices to the children is the first call. That's our first priority. Where am I located? That's interesting. Up until 2 weeks ago, I was in Swartz Creek, Michigan. But right now, if you look behind me, you'll see I'm still unpacking. I'm in Hamburg, Michigan. The goal is to open the office near Ann Arbor or in Ann Arbor. So was there a third one, sir?
Yeah. Asking you what apps you're building.
That I cannot be specific about at this point. And there's early childhood development pieces. There's K through 5 and 6-year-old pieces, communication devices for active interschool interactions and translations. There's 6th grade through 12th grade. There's college level, adult, and then there's also DEI users, and especially the strongest one that's coming after us is the hospital. Interaction in a hospital is not one-on-one with one person. So the ability to give everybody who works in a hospital the ability to talk to a deaf patient or the deaf parents of a child would be a huge benefit, because the DOJ has figured out that compensatory damages add up to multi-millions in the hospital environment. They're going after the deep pockets for ADA compliance for that. But it's a myriad. The original prototypes that we're starting to work on now to put out for the pilot programs, there's 5 to 6 of them, and there's more beyond that.
So you got another question there from Paul?
First target market is the deaf child, parents of deaf children, and the healthcare. We already have healthcare facilities that want to pilot this, that have said, if that does what you say it does, we want that in our house, because we're paying well over $1 million a year just to get interpretive services in here. And they don't fit the bill. They don't solve the problem. So, but we know where almost every deaf child in the nation is. There's ADA relationships there, but the hospital market is the one where the consultants are coming out of. The CEO and vice president of Children's Miracle Network, the 170 hospitals, includes MOTS, and that has been following me for 4 months now. And I introduced this to the LinkedIn posting market about 4 to 6 months ago, and I've gotten 1,600 worldwide interest questions and answers, and attaboy, this is going to be a game changer. So, but I can't change that game myself. And I don't just need, my money is just the vehicle there. We need people with resources, with business infrastructure, with financial background in marketing, and that to cross it over. Policymakers are all over this for the US, states, and the government.
Awesome. So I think that's the time for questions. So first of all, Cliff, thank you again for sharing DevTech Studios with us. It's really cool and really awesome. And it's great to hear the interest, because I think it makes absolute sense that people would be interested in this. So if you don't mind unsharing your screen.
There it is.
There you go. Thank you, Cliff, again. So with that, those are our 3 presentations today. I want to thank our 3 presenters, technically 4, with Brandon, Emerson, Yanbin, and Cliff for taking their time to share their startups with us. We all know what their asks are. If you have the ability to support and help them, please do where you can. Now we move into our post-pitch announcement section. So feel free to type into the chat any kind of announcements that you may have, whether it's for a meetup, or if you want people to check out your startup, or if you're looking to hire, whatever it may be, feel free to type it into the chat. As folks are doing that, I will, first of all, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight for our first A2NewTech meetup of 2022. This is a great one, and I think it's gonna show how we're just gonna have some awesome presentations for the rest of this year, and it's kicking things off right. Our very next one will be on February 15th, to the day after Valentine's. Just spend that with us at 6:30. And again, I'll let everybody know if that's going to be virtual again, or it's going to be hybrid, but stay tuned. If you're interested in pitching, feel free to reach out to me. You can either do so in our Slack group, which I shared the Slack link earlier, or you can email me at hein@a2newtech.org. And with that, it looks like we have an announcement from Paul. There are more pitches going on this Thursday with NEF, so go ahead and check that out. Those are always fun events. I always used to love going to them in person. Sarah from Michigan Founders Fund. If you all know college students interested in the tech and startup space, please pass along for the Future Founders Internship. We've got 19 startups across the state looking for our diverse talent and paid interns. So that's cool. So there's the link, and you can reach Sarah and the team over there at community@michiganfounderfund.org. I will go ahead and just quickly mention that if you are yourself a founder, I know we had a few, definitely check out Michigan Founders Fund. It's a really great organization that's trying to do good. Okay. And then just another quick reminder there from BoardX that you can try it out. There's the link. Okay. But yeah, so if there aren't any other announcements, I want to thank everybody again. Oops. Looks like we have another announcement from BoardX. They're looking for people to join. If you're interested, feel free to reach out to them. That's their email there, boardx.us@gmail.com. And I think Lance is referring to adding he'll pay to the internship for interns. Yep. Okay. All right. All right. And then Cliff again is saying we're looking for pilot program sites for healthcare, DEI, and parents for preschool deaf children. He provided a link there to more information about DevTech Studios. So, okay. So with that, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. What I'm going to do now is if you can hang out for a little while to meet some folks in the community. I'm going to create some breakout groups here. Just add folks, open those rooms, and